As you can see, the celebration going on behind me. The Zips beating the Golden Flashes of Kent State 62-61 in the MAC tournament championship game for the men's side, and what a night it was.
He has a will to win, man. And if you look at it on the defensive end of the floor and he's getting into passing lanes and he's hounding guys, it's just really a fun and it's a pleasure, like you said, to watch him play when those moments come, when the team needs him. And you saw it. It started in the third quarter once Okoro went down, right? It was Donovan and Karras that really bucked up and said, okay, let's go do this for our teammates.
Spencer Davies, David Yapkowitz here from Las Vegas, taking in Summer League action. Got a lot of great things going on here with the showcasing of rookies and young players trying to audition for their spots on an NBA team. So far, we've obviously got the Rookie of the Year race. We might be talking about DeAndre Ayton, who's got a great opportunity with the Suns. Marvin Bagley, the second overall pick, obviously went down with an injury with the Kings.
We've got Spencer Davies now with us, who, of course, is a senior NBA editor and writer for basketballnews.com, formerly worked for us at Fox Sports Ohio, has other great credentials, Bleacher Report, USA Today, etc. Spencer, good to have you back on the show. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Bruce. Just ready to kick off this NBA draft and get into the offseason.
Well, I couldn't think of anybody better to have talented young writer like you than to predict what's going to happen. Is the obvious going to happen Cunningham, Green, and then the Cavs get Mobley?
It sure sounds like it. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN just tweeted out actually today at around 1 p.m. that Cade Cunningham is definitely going to be the guy to go to Detroit. So in turn, it seems that Jalen Green is pretty locked in with the Houston Rockets. Spoke at length about them in his draft media availability and really seemed to like what Houston has going there and the ability to possibly form a backcourt with Kevin Porter Jr., a former Cav himself. So, the top three in this draft has always kind of shake out to be Cunningham, Green, and Evan Mobley, with the outside chance of Jalen Suggs sneaking in there. But it really does feel like Evan Mobley is going to be the guy for the Cavs at 3 if they stick there.
Second year of coaching for you. So how is that transition from player to coach gone for you? And now you know what to expect coming into this training camp.
Yeah, at first it was more like I had to get out of still being a player. Like I still wanted to get on the court. I still wanted to do the things for the guys, but I'm learning how to teach them and find ways to motivate them.
LeBron, Spencer Davies, Basketball Insiders. It seems like the Warriors in the third quarter, the differential's been pretty big, and the runs that they go on after you guys cut it to so close, they can just go up in the snap of a finger. What's the best way you can just kind of not allow that to happen, I guess?
Take great shots and not turn the ball over, and we had an opportunity. Last game, cut it to 4, and then, they made a couple plays.
What? One. Explain.
I don't know, man. I haven't played basketball in a couple months.
Oh, that's your excuse.
That's the excuse.
I liked Evan's aggression again. He was definitely being assertive, and you want to see Evan be assertive the way that he kind of carried that from the end of game 1 into game 2. We saw the dominant performance he had in the first half. And in the fourth quarter in game 2. I thought that he did a good job of starting off well tonight. They were looking for him over the top. He was passing out of the catch too, and I think that was big. Cavs just didn't make those threes out of the corner, and that's a big part of that. And, Evan had a few point blankers that he missed, but otherwise I think that he had some really good, strong finishes tonight, a couple dunks.
If you're the Suns, what decision do you make sitting there at the top of the board?
I think you got to go with the obvious one with DeAndre Ayton, the can't-miss prospect, so to speak. He's the guy who's going to go up and crash the boards. He's built so huge. He's going to get out and step out and hit those shots. He's going to block shots for you. They need a guy who's big like that in Phoenix, and he can run the floor. I mean, it's just a perfect pick.
He goes out there and shoots a free throw left-handed in Indiana, his first one, right? And then the next time he's at the free throw line, he acts like it didn't happen. But he's gotten a couple of, nice floater looks with his left hand. I think he's gotten 1 to go out of like 3 tries. But whatever you can do to add a wrinkle to your game, I suppose. But I think the Cavs will use his bone-crushing screens a little bit better. I think they'll use his lob threat a little bit better than that left hand predominantly, I would say.
Look, incremental growth every year. You go from the play-in tournament, you go to a first-round series, and then you go to a second-round series this year. And that deserves applause. I don't care who you are.
there's astronomical standards set by a lot of the fans around here because of what happened with LeBron James and those teams that were going to the finals every single season.
And that's within the fans' right to do that for sure. But you're right. I think that's changed the perspective of this franchise, especially when you're less than 10 years removed from that. So it's still so fresh in our mind.
It wasn't so long ago they were a 22-win basketball team, guys.
Yeah.
And even Kobe mentioned that about Golden State keeping their core together, Boston, Milwaukee. He looked at all of these other teams that have had the same core, at least core 2, core 3, that have just kind of found a way to make it fit around the guys and given them leeway and the amount of time that it takes to necessarily get to the next step that they want to get to. But I feel like this move by ousting JB Bickerstaff is saying, okay, incremental success isn't where we're at now. We're there to get to the next tier, and got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. And a lot of it, again, we're going to get to this, is talking about in-house improvement and making sure that these players develop.
No, I really thought that his defensive presence, especially in the first half, was just outstanding. And it looked like the Cavs just couldn't get anything going on the inside. We obviously know that they didn't have much going on the outside. They started the first half 3 for 22 from deep, so that was not exactly the best. But they ended up continuing to shoot the 3, and it worked out in their favor. They got up 9 points in the fourth quarter, and then it just ended up dissipating a little.
I really just put my head down and keep working. Don't worry about the rankings, the social media. Just put my head down, keep getting better, and working every day with my trainers.
I think he's confident. You know what I'm saying? He's a confident kid. And that's the way we raise him. To believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So on that court, he better believe in himself because that's the type of pressure we want to put on him. Not pressure, but that's what we expect of him.
I put in a lot of work, so when you put in a lot of work, it's really no pressure. You just go out there and play a game, make shots and just win. I always wanted to be a two-way player, offensive, defensive player, so there's a lot of players that can score the ball but don't really play defense, I want to be both.
That's why I think the biggest jump for him this year was from last year. He played defense last year, but this time it seemed like he enjoyed it as a sophomore. It's only going to get better when he's a junior and senior. But, he loves to compete. He's a competitor. He don't back down from challenges. So, he took a lot of the load for us this year offensively, and we had him checking not always the best players, but, towards the end of the year, we had games we had to defend the best guys, and he steps up for challenges for sure. When we watch film, he comes back a better defender. He comes back making the right passes or making the right shots or things like that. Just film study is very, very important to having success.
And a lot of people are going in there, they're eating food, so it's always kind of fresh food, so it's the best. It's the best.
There's a couple rules that are really different, but I think the biggest difference is pace, and I'll say defense. Mostly it's one-on-one game at the end, you're calling a call, you're playing a call, and then last couple seconds it's one-on-one. But in your league, in Europe, it's mostly 5-on-5.
Kansas your shoes.
Being away from family, it was not easy because all my life we were together. I was born in Macedonia, grown in Bosnia, then moved to Turkey, and we were always together. And then when I came here, the first couple months I was by myself.
What's happening, Cavs fans? The NBA playoffs tip off on Saturday with the Magic taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm sure you're pumped. I know that I am, which is why I'm on Autograph, a place where the Wine and Gold faithful can come together and get rewarded for their content and their passion. Autograph, Fandom Rewarded, is giving back to the fans with a community tailor-made for the Cavaliers. You're already attending games, wearing the team's gear proudly, actively engaging in social media conversations and listening to podcasts, so why not get rewarded for it? Earn coins for all of your fan actions, get ranked, level up, and unlock amazing offers for tickets, merch, discounts, and more. The Cavs community is live on Autograph now, so you can start unlocking rewards right away. Hit the link and use the code WGSPIN to join.
I've been doing this camp here with my brother. This is our second time doing it together as the McCullum Brothers camp. I did a camp my second year in the league, and I just finished my 7th annual camp in Oregon. How y'all doing, man? I'm CJ.
How's it going? Nice to meet you.
I'm CJ. Nice to meet you guys. It means a lot to us. This is where we were born and raised in Canton, Ohio. So being able to come from here, create a good way of living for us, being able to empower people around us, and being able to give back, I think it means a lot. And I think you can tell by how we carry ourselves and how we never forget where we come from.
Hold your ball strong. Look at your teammates. Keep your head up on the triple threat so you can see what's happening on the screen. And please talk.
I always have roots at home, even if you can't be here often. With me being abroad most of the time, CJ being on the West Coast, anytime you get an opportunity to come home, it's an inspiration sometimes to the kids in the city because, they look at you and, they feel like anything you did, they feel like they can attain that as well just because you came from where they come. It's not unattainable.